I'm waiting on my tea to seep, but I want to get my makeup done so I can go film more stuff. So we're just gonna, if I gotta stop at some point, it's because I'm making myself a glass of tea. For this look, I have decided that I like a fairly minimal face. Minimal. I mean, like, I used to do, because I have a lot of hyperpigmentation on the lower part of my jaw, and so I used to do like full coverage concealer down there, and then to kind of even it all out, I would have to do more concealer all over my face. It just essentially meant that I was wearing just like a thick layer of foundation everywhere for every single day. And I just like, the thing is, I like my skin. Like, obviously I don't love the hyperpigmentation, but I love my skin. And so I started getting in the habit of using a tinted, is it a tinted moisturizer or is a skin tint? And I'll have all the products that I'm using listed down below, but truthfully, if I'm being honest, don't buy anything that I'm using. And it's not because I'm not recommending it, it's because I do think that you can use what you have. You probably have something that you can use in your own arsenal already. If you want like a lighter foundation, you can just mix a little moisturizer in with your foundation and make like a tinted moisturizer, right? Like there are ways around stuff. It's just to suit my needs, and because at the it's my birthday month, so if I want to spend a little bit of money, it's fine. It's my birthday month. I just wanted to get something new to try. And a skin tint is completely new to me. I never thought I'd be able to wear a skin tint just because of all the hyperpigmentation on my face. But look at me now, babe. I'm wearing a skin tint. I have something light on my face, and it feels amazing. I feel like I swear it's not doing very much, but it is doing enough. My eyebrows, though, I am gonna have to go and wipe my eyebrows off because it does turn my eyebrows orange, and I don't really like that personally. But yeah, when I do my everyday vampire makeup look, I want it to be light. I want it to be easy. I want it to be something simple, because I love taking my time to do my makeup, but I also love when I don't want to take my time for my makeup, but I still want to feel like I look like me. And looking like me, part of looking like me is looking a little sunken in, a little dewy still, but a little sunken in, a little more just gothic, So now I'm going in with my concealer, and I'm just first putting it in the areas that I want it, but like I'm not really blending it in because I'm gonna let it sit for just like a quick second, let it get thick as all hell, and then I'll start to blend it in. And if you see it looks a little like discolored, it's because I'm actually just mixing two colors together. I bought one shade, it was too dark, realized I had a light shade here, and so I just mixed them together and get my perfect shade. So that's why it looks that way. But like, do you see, like, this just looks like my skin. Like, it looks like nothing. And I keep bringing that up because I've never had like a finish that just looks like my skin before, or at least in a very long time. I have rather dry skin. I'm not really an oily person. And for that reason, and okay, so I'm a person who has oil or dry skin, but I really usually prefer like a matte finish when I'm, doing a full cake face. So the two are just inherently incompatible, and that's the other reason why I've started to switch over to like a lighter base, because I realized if I did a lighter base, my skin wouldn't look dry, my makeup wouldn't look more so cakey, and I'll just get a finish that just looks nicer, that looks more compatible with my skin. And like, that's it. All that hyperpigmentation, I mean, it's not fully covered up, but it is covered up to a good degree for me as somebody who's just wearing this every single day, right? Like, I feel pretty good about this. Then I'm gonna go in and do my contour. I do not typically tend to wear concealer on my like everyday. Like, if I'm going out like on karaoke nights and I'm doing this as like my base, then sometimes I'll put concealer in like the places that I want lighter. But on like an everyday face, I'm not doing all that because I just don't feel like it. I also just don't think it's super necessary for the way that I do my makeup. At least I don't think I have particularly dark under eyes, so I'm not worried about covering them up. And I'm gonna do a smoky eye anyway. So what's the point? What's the point? You know, I guess it adds more dimension to the face, but once again, this is an everyday face for me. So I'm not caring about having the most handsome Squidward looking ass face. That's not, for everyday, that's too much. That's just entirely too much. But I do like some contour just because I like, and is this even really contour? It might actually be more borderline on bronzer on me just because it is kind of leaning warm. I do just prefer a little bit more shape to my face, but I don't need like full on definition. That's too much for me. My nose, I just go up and down the sides of my nose. There we go. That's it. That's it, babe. All right, I just finished making myself my minty tea and I wiped my eyebrows down. I'm also gonna take my hair and just put it in a clip real quick. All right, so next up, since I washed off my eyebrows, I'm going to slick those up with some brow gel real quick. I find it really important to go back and forth. I have like thin, sparse brows, and obviously they're coarse because I just bleach them all the time. I gotta go back and forth, really work that gel on in there to make it effective. I'll wait for that to get a little tacky and then I'll just push it down with the end of a makeup brush. I'm also going to go ahead and set my face. There's that. And then go in with this. It's supposed to be a bronzer, but I kind of use it as a blush. Put that there for a tiny bit of color on my face, but it's still like deep. It still feels a little more flushed, like from within. And it matches my hair. I don't know. I love things that match my hair. Speaking of which, so for my eyes, I have two different shadows that I use. First, I prime my lid. I'm gonna be so real with you. I picked this shade of primer because it's like the shade that I hear people talk about all the time. Whenever this is the MAC Painterly paint pot or whatever the heck it's called. And I picked the Painterly shade because that's what everybody and their mother always talks about using. And if you are brown, maybe pick a deeper shade. Like, it works, it's fine. Obviously, I haven't returned it. Obviously, I'm just making do with what I have. But I think when I imagine this primer, I kind of expect something nude, and I should have used my brain cells when I picked it up and figured that, oh, you know, most people that talk about this are fair in tone, and so that's why this looks nude on them. I just wasn't thinking. So I would pick something a little bit deeper. I think there's a deeper shade that's not like a bronze metallic shade, because I do believe they also have metallic shades, but just pick a deeper shade of this paint pot. But I do really like it. So, eyeshadow. I'll usually do like some combo. This is the Wine and Only from ColourPop. And this is like usually what I go in with is like this shade right here. Sometimes I'll put this in my crease if I'm feeling a little fancy, but I just put this all over my lid in my crease. Or if I don't want something quite so monochromatic, I'll use the Dark Renaissance palette from Glam Goth Beauty. And I'll use the shade Chiseled in here. As you can see, I've used it a lot, like a lot. I also used to use it as like a bronzer. Like, listen, that shade has been well loved. I think today I am going to go with, let's do the red. Let's do the red. And when I say like my eye makeup is very simple and very easy, I can do makeup. Mind you, I could do a face if I really want to do a face. I just don't want to every day. No. Every day. No. But today I'm feeling a little bit more of the red. I like it because it kind of matches my hair. I also like it because it looks like wine. I also like it because vampire, obviously. You know, kind of sloppy. It's fine. It's everyday makeup. It doesn't have to be perfect. Also, we can fix these things, you know? I just want it to be nice and deep on the lid. And then I'm also gonna go underneath the lid, which is partially why I tend to not care too much about putting concealer on. I did go a little bit lower beneath the lash line than I typically do, but that's fine. Today's a little extra smokier than usual. That's fine. I don't care. Grab a fluffy brush and just blend out those edges so they're not quite so harsh. I'm trying to decide if today's an eyeliner day, but I don't think it is. I don't feel like it. So we're just gonna go in with mascara. And I put mascara on my top and bottom lashes. I also am not a big stickler for it being kind of messy. I have a very cavalier approach to my everyday makeup. Okay, my drag makeup, I'm definitely care a lot more about precision. But when it comes to everyday makeup, unless I'm like executing a particular look, I'm pretty lax about this whole thing because I kind of think it all just adds to the effect. I don't think as a vampire, I don't think that it's really my MO to have the most put together makeup look. I feel like it's okay if it looks a little lived in, a little messed up, a little disheveled. Kind of like I'm just coming straight out of the crypt. Like, I'm not offended by that look. My lips, I just go in with, well, sometimes I'll wear like an actual lipstick, but most of the time I am just going in with a dark brown lip liner. It's like a quintessential black girl lip. And then I go in with the clear gloss. I love, love, love this clear gloss from Daphne Beauty. It has like a minty scent to it, and it is on your lips. It is on your lips, and it's not super sticky though. Like, it's called like the heavy duty super gloss, and it's supposed to be like a super glue. You put it on and it's not like, it doesn't do all the stringy effect or anything, but it is on. It is on. Because I actually like my lip color too, so there's that. And then last touch, I like to do a little highlighter on my nose and on my cheekbones. That's probably a little more than I meant to do, but it's fine. I'm gonna go clean off my piercing now. All right, and so this is the finished look. I hope that this helps somebody. Like, I have plenty. I know that I have an in-depth, full glam vampire makeup look on my channel that I did a few years ago. Like, I love a vampire inspired look. I love a smoky eye. I love the thing about this look that I do particularly love, though, is it just feels like, to me, a natural face. Now, I know it's crazy to say that, but this just feels natural to me. So I hope this video helped you out. And yeah, until next time.